Thank you so much for joining us at this time. My name is Desola, and I welcome you to today's conversation with parenting after with parents who are parenting after relocation. We have a special guest today, but before we let her introduce herself, let me quickly explain what this is about, why we're doing it, and what I do, why I'm interested in this phase of life, because that's what I see it as. Again, my name is Desola. I'm a certified family systems engineering practitioner. I'm a family life practitioner. I'm a parenting coach, and I'm a peak performance coach. Now, I'm interested in people and how they can exist at their best, manifest and exist at the highest level in their fields, their endeavors, their lives, their families, their minds, right? Their health, their bodies, every aspect of a person's life is interesting to me. And what I try to do with my time and on a regular basis, on a daily basis, is to help people discover those parts of them that are not doing as well as they want them to, and to help them facilitate performance at the peak in those areas. So today we're looking at parenting with parents who are doing it outside their home country. So I just thought about it that a lot of people have been leaving. Migration has become a thing in the last couple of years, especially from my home country, Nigeria. And I found that a lot of parents are struggling with working the new place they're at out. They're working out the processes, the ideas, the things that are not supposed to be surprising to them are because they don't have enough information. And I also realized that there are a lot of parents that I know who have figured these things out, who have figured most of it out, who are figuring it out, and they have a lot to share in terms of their experience, and that people can benefit from hearing from these parents about how to plan if they're considering such a move, and if they have moved already, how to make the most of their experience and learn from others whose experiences might not be exactly similar, but be close. They might be close, and they might just hear one thing and go like, oh, okay, I've been struggling with that. And okay, that makes sense. I should try that out. And it might just work out for them. Now, the best way I think to learn is to hear from people who have gone on that journey. And so that is why I've decided to talk to parents and have these conversations on a weekly basis with parents who are parenting outside their home country after relocation. And so today I have a special guest. She's a mom. I'm going to let her talk about herself because her story is interesting and amazing. And I believe that she is excited. It has taken a while for us to get here. So she has sacrificially made this hour of her time available to share. And I believe that she'll be very open and generous with information so that she can help as many parents who'll be watching this now and later in future, how it can help them. So, my special guest, please take the floor. Please tell us about yourself, what you do, your family setup, and how it's been for you outside Nigeria.
Amazing. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to support, help, and, be there for, as many people as we can. That's the whole essence of living and life. It's not just for you to live, but live to impact lives. And I see this as an opportunity to do that. So I will start with my name. I am Derin Adeniji. I'm a human resources practitioner and a mother of two amazing boys and a wife to one man. What's energy? Yes, so that's me in a nutshell. And like I introduced myself, I love to impact lives. I love to support. I love to be there for people. It's almost like the whole essence of my existence. So when I have an opportunity to do that, it's like you're putting me inside the river or the sea or the aquarium as a fish to live. So thank you for giving me life today.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for seeing it that way. Thank you so much. Thank you for making the time. So let's jump right in. I was expecting your answers, but I guess you want me to be surprised.
Oh,
Have you
I
sent them?
I apologize for not saying.
Okay, but you have it on hand.
Yes, I have that. I have
Okay,
them.
okay. So maybe I'll just take it later then. But let's talk about it. I will get to see those answers, but the viewers won't. So we still have to share as much as possible
Oh, okay.
so
All
that
right.
they can pick up one or two things. So how old are your children now, the boys?
So I have a 10-year-old and I have eight, you know,
Okay,
year old boys.
okay. And like I said earlier, you're originally from Nigeria. How old were they when you left Nigeria?
So my first was 8, and my
Okay.
second was going to be 6.
Okay, so you've been away for about 2 years, thereabouts.
2 years, yes, 2 years
Oh,
and a
okay.
month.
A month. Awesome. So did you have a 2 year anniversary party or a brunch or
Oh,
something?
well, amazing. We
Did
mark
you
it every year,
remember?
really, because we
Oh,
do
okay.
remember. I still told my husband yesterday that sometime soon I'll probably just do a reenactment of the day we came into Canada, and just
And
just
record it.
visit just visit the different places that we were at, different locations within the airport. Although things are changing, or things have really changed, because of COVID-19, a lot of things that were done at the airport have now been moved online, so you just come in and straight you get
Right.
into the cab and you go to your isolation center now. Like when we came, which was just few months before the whole COVID saga. And, so it
Mm-hmm.
was, I just told him, yeah, every year we remember it because we see it as, yeah, we thank God. We are grateful every year. I mean, every day of our lives, but, we see it as an opportunity to thank God, especially because, God made it happen for us. Yeah, we planned, like, I'm a Christian also. I apologize if I didn't say that. I am a
Yeah,
Christian.
that's cool.
I believe in Christ and not religion. So we believe that you can take the horse to war, you can plan, but it's only God that guarantees your victory. So for you to have what you plan to have, God made it happen for you. So we
Right.
use that as an opportunity, to actually thank God, because we know the things we had, I mean, the steps we had to take, how rigorous, how tiring, how expensive, if I may say, was for us as a couple. But God made us, I mean, made it happen for us. And every year we remember that moment. And it's been the story of the glory of God from the moment we came up until the time today that I'm talking with you. Yes.
Awesome.
So we
Awesome. So we give
celebrate.
God all the glory.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So your resident where exactly now?
Currently we're in London, Ontario. So we're in Ontario. Canada is uh, it has several
You.
provinces and all, but we are located in Ontario and we're in London, in the northern part of London,
Okay.
Ontario.
Okay. All right. So the first serious question, the others were just warming up. The first serious question here is, what was your relocation preparation process, especially concerning the children, because our focus is parenting and how you're coping with it and making sense of it. So when you first decided that you wanted to relocate, did you do anything in particular to prepare yourself and the children?
Oh yes, I'm married to a man who is very deep into research. All right, so it wasn't just for us. Oh, we are going. Before
Mm,
we even started, getting really into it, we started researching. I remember days that my husband would just go to YouTube and bring up different locations within Canada, and everybody watches. I mean, my kids will be there; they will have to be, watch, and then they ask questions. Um,
mm,
and then we had different people, YouTubers that we followed. One of them was, I think, is Igor. I've forgotten his other name now. Igor. We saw him, I think, every weekend when we all gathered together, because I do eight. I was doing 8 to 5. Even though it became 8 to 10 sometimes, or 6 to 10
mm,
sometimes in Nigeria. But the
mm,
the
yeah,
registered timing was 8 to 5 in Nigeria then.
mm,
So Mondays to Fridays. So Saturday was our, time together always. And we would always watch the documentaries, different places within Canada, who is the prime minister, what is happening, things. We were just, and then we got ourselves also into different groups planning to go into Canada. So we were not
Okay.
just we were in a community of people even within Nigeria who were taking steps
Right.
towards that. So we got information, we got direction, we got help, kind of. So it was a real one. So for us, we were preparing, and then we were breaking down the preparation for the kids through documentaries, through discussions, from time to time. Yes. So we did a lot of that
Mm.
even before we eventually put in
Thank
into,
you.
okay, these are the steps. So I started taking real steps. We were already
Right.
taking, unseen steps before that.
Mm. Mm. So you're already visualizing Canada.
Yeah, as far as you can see, basically as far as your eyes can
Mm.
see. If you can't see it, then you can,
Right.
yeah, you may not be
Mhm.
able to achieve. You
Mhm.
can stumble into it, but you may not appreciate it if you cannot see. But when
Mm.
you see it, the more you see it, the more, it becomes real to you. And then it makes you
Right.
determined to be able to give, because it becomes your hunger. It becomes yeah, it was a want, then it became a need, and then you start to see yourself, giving almost everything to be able to, get that. When I mean everything, I mean your time, your focus, your resources, and all. If it doesn't get to that, if you don't get to that point, then it's not, you may give up easily, because it was a journey. It
Right.
was a tough one before,
Mm. Mm.
and we had to prepare for it
Mm.
mentally, and
Mm.
everywise. Yeah.
Right. Amazing. So did you practice any form of intentional parenting before you left Nigeria?
Oh yes, like I said, I'm married to, we are a discussing family. We, sit with the kids and let them know what is. They ask questions and we don't hide. Even though we are Christians, we don't deny the things that are out there that exist. So when we have the opportunity, we'll break it down for them. This is what this, but this is what we hold there. This is our value. This is
Mm.
what, the family stands for. And wherever we're
Right.
situated, we don't lose sight of this. And even till now, before, now, forever, we'll continue to do that. Even when they become adults, there's always that moment of, reminding them, of who they are,
Mm.
of who they are,
Mm.
of who we are. And of course, we did. Speaking with them, answering questions, and deep, when I mean questions, deep questions. Why we watch a documentary and somebody says, "Oh, my wife," and you're saying, "A man there," and it says, "Why is
Right.
it calling that man a wife?" And then we let them know, this
Mm.
is what we discussed before. This is this people. You know, we have orientations, but we hold whatever the Bible has told us to do as our final authority, our
True.
picture, our guide, and we make sure we paste it and we keep reiterating and talking about it every time. And of course, we talk about other things. So that's even going to, yeah, but it's there. It's glaring them in the face right now. Someone
Mhm.
comes to school and
Mhm.
say, someone comes to pick them up and say, oh, that's my mom. And you're saying a man. Oh, really? So it doesn't throw them off. They understand,
Mm.
oh, that's who you are. And we also make them understand that that's the reason you are there, to shine as the light, that Jesus has made you. All right. You're not there to
Mm.
condemn people. They're doing this because they do not know, but you have been privileged to be in the light, to know that in the beginning, God made man and woman, not man and man. And if God made
Mm.
man and woman, then it remains so. But if some people have thought out of their ways to say, okay, yes, I want to do this, well, their will, but then it doesn't change what we hold there. And it doesn't change the fact that you should hold Christ there. And every opportunity you have to show the love of Christ. We are not condemning. That's why I said
Mm.
we don't practice religion. We practice, relationship with Christ. So we are, there, we relate with them. This is the environment we're in. But then we help the kids to stand as the light that Christ has made them to be and to
Mm.
continue to see.
Mm.
And of course, aside the words you're speaking, you're also on your knees. And I remember
Right.
before we left, we had a set of confessions that the kids would take, you know, and we
Mm.
kept doing it, and we explained, do it, explain, do it, explain. And then at some point, you explain what you're saying. What do you think you're saying? How do you think this applies to
Mm.
you as a child, at their level, and
Mm.
we're seeing, the glory of
The
God,
result.
in their lives and all. Even right now, there's an everyday confession, You're confessing, you're saying what you want to see, because you form your world with your mouth, and what you want to see is what you say. And the more you keep saying, it's not what you experience, it's not what people are doing, but what you want to see. God has given you that power. Keep saying it, and then
Right.
you will see it. And it's been amazing, really.
Awesome. Awesome. Intentional. I like it. All right. So when did you tell the boys you were leaving permanently?
Aha. So sincerely, we did not, go all out. Of course, they were guessing initially,
Right.
like,
Mm-hmm.
what's all this documentary about? Why are we even, especially my second son, he can be so vocal. I mean, why are we even watching all this? Can't we even say something else? Are we going to Canada? Have I told you we're going to Canada? Because once you let it out of the bag, the whole world hears. And even when you're not ready,
Mm-hmm.
you're still reading or you're still preparing IELTS. You're just preparing them, giving the whole world
Mm-hmm.
has heard. And surely, to my prediction, I think about a few weeks before we left, about maybe like 6 weeks before we left, that's when we actually told them. Of course, they knew. Of course, you can't hide from these
Okay.
kids. They've been
They
seeing
were
moves, they've been
sensing.
seeing you read, okay, you bring things in, we have intelligent children right now in the
Mm-hmm.
world. Without mentioning it,
Right.
they've already seen it. So basically, but they were not so certain, and we try as much as possible, because we did not want it to be all out there. But we kept we kept it for them. But when we started, we had to start selling off some of the things in the house, before we left. When it became concrete, we had to
Right.
tell them, so this is what is happening. All right. The country of Canada has given us residency, permanent residency, and we have to move there. And we're going to be
Mm.
there for a while. All right, this is what we have been talking about. So now it's becoming a reality. So we have to start
Mm.
leaving, you know, gradually. And also, it was a mixture of excitement, really, like, oh my
Okay.
God, oh, you're leaving, we're leaving, we're going to Canada, we're going to fly. Well, my first son has a has phobia for heights. So it was like, oh my
Oh.
God, I'm gonna be in the plane. No, no. I'm like, well, that's the only way we can. Can't we go on the road? No. It's him. No. Okay, so we're gonna be. So prepare yourself to mentally. We're gonna be flying, and you're gonna be up
Mm.
there, and you see, nothing but the clouds around you and everything. So we just made it interesting. Yeah, I told them we're going to be doing this, but this is a family gist, okay? This is
Mm.
us right now. Yes, it's certain,
Stay
but we just
here
wanted
for
you to
now.
know. But of course,
Mm.
the following week I got a call from the providers, the school. I said, Max says you're leaving already. You're going to, you too, you're going to. I'm like, oh my God. Imagine if I had told him 3 months, 3 months before. So basically, yes, we had to tell them about 6 weeks before, because a lot of things started to happen that we did not want
Right.
them wondering about. Okay, move the
Mm.
car here. Okay, the other car is gone. We only have one. What happened to the other one? We sold it. Why? Okay, those questions will start coming, and we don't want it to start painting a wrong picture. And at some point,
Mm.
they had to move to grammars, to stay, because we were ready. There was nothing to sleep on, because it was necessary.
Mm.
You wouldn't wait till the last day to start, taking off all those
Right.
things. And I will tell you, those the money would actually come handy also for your
Mm.
living where you're
Mm.
going. So
Mm.
those we gave out, yes, but we sold a couple, and then which was part of our living expense that we held
Mm.
with us when we left.
Mm. Mm. Oh, so they were excited, mostly,
Oh, it
apart
was
from the
it,
concerns about flying.
well, eventually it fizzled out. Is it that this or this? We had to fly. So the person that had the flight fright had to deal with it. Even though we had conversations, even in the aircraft, we still talked and everything. We had a little drama towards the landing, but it was a manageable drama, yes, because it had, okay, my second son had ear pains. It's normal when the plane wants to land, you start having,
Mm-hmm.
some people have pains, very severe pains in the ears, and he had it, and but we had already talked about it, and we told him it was going to wear off, and we were right there beside him. So gave him the support. And then of course the plane had in-flight entertainment. So it took
Okay.
their minds off the flying,
Exactly.
the fear and everything. So they had cartoons all through. Some moments of sleeping, and then some other time they were just on the screen watching off.
Mm,
And
mm.
my first son, the scare he had a little tummy upset. That was normal too, because he wasn't just all okay with some of the things that it was scared. It wasn't like eating our
Right.
mala and rice, you know.
Yeah.
So he reacted to it, and we dealt with that, but we landed, and it was fun. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was fun to
Awesome.
see a different environment. Oh my God. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, we're at the airport. Oh my God, we're in Canada. Yes, you are in Canada, So they get more excited than even the parents, And
Right.
the mixed feelings, they had issues with leaving some of their friends, even though we had to deal with that because we had some of them come over to the house. They had fun together, and we promised, okay, connection with them once in a while. We can
Stay in
call,
touch.
and they still do that till today. In fact, some of them have even
Oh.
moved out too. Some of them are in Australia, so we connect, we talk on the phone, and they just gist off. Oh, what's happening? What's happening at your school? What's happening in Australia? Okay, yeah. What's happening in Nigeria right now? And then they have this beautiful girl, a friend of theirs that, the parents too will call us just to give us information because she will keep info about school things happening at their former school,
Aw.
and then she'll bring it, and then just she'll give them line after line, like in me, like really. Yeah, so it's yeah, so they were able to catch up
Aw.
on that, even though they felt, oh, they were leaving their friends and all, grandma, and then my parents will always call in fact, my mom
Mm.
calls practically every day just to speak with them so that they have that bond,
Connection.
so that the bond is not really broken, and they know that they're there. And then we don't joke with the calls back home too, because that's another thing for a lot of people. We come here and then we severe the cords back home, and
Mm.
then it becomes that the
Mm.
people,
Mm.
kids start to grow on their own, and they feel like, and not knowing that you're actually laying the same foundation for yourself. If the kids don't see you as somebody who is family, focused, who is family friendly, who is always reaching out to your parents and taking care of them, they would definitely replay the same card
Mm.
back for you.
Mm.
And then you're like, oh, they are
Mm.
not calling. Oh, they won't call because you were never calling, or you didn't
See
teach them
you
the
call.
habit, or you
Mm.
didn't teach them, you didn't
Mm.
groom them with the habit of reaching out to their loved ones. So we do that.
Mm.
Birthdays, we don't miss. We sing for everybody, like, auntie this,
Mm.
oh, auntie this calls, and they, oh, come and greet auntie this and everything. So basically, we keep that up even till now. We hope to
Mm.
continue to do that by the grace of God.
Mm. Mm. Really cool. I like all these ideas. I'm sure people will be nodding along the way I'm nodding along myself. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is interesting. Okay, so did you have any concerns about raising them outside Nigeria? What were the most serious things that you considered that
Sincerely
you were
speaking,
a bit worried about?
well, yes, it's one thing for you. Like I said, you put the horse to war, but then it's you are still concerned about the victory at the end of the day. So you
Mm,
already told them about this. You don't want to. You also want to put your nose on the ground to be sure of what they're getting, the information they're getting from the school, and the ability for the school to understand their personalities. We had a little
okay.
initially when we came. We decided that, okay, we were going to be flexible enough so that while they're integrating into school, we are there for them. Take them to school in the morning, not just putting them on the bus. uh Pick them up after school, so that there's that conversation from school to the home and everything. And God actually worked
Mm,
everything out. The school was a stone throw away from that's the school they were going to, because they changed school recently. It was a stone throw away from the house, so we could stroll together. So we are gisting, we are telling, preparing the day, what happened, and then picking them up. Same, we talked about it. So I know that I think the first few months, which I know a lot of other just relocated parents too mentioned, and like I told you, we're in a group, we continue to be in a group. So the group will move you from one stage to the other once throughout the process of relocation. Initially, when you're planning, you're in the planning group. When you started to take the exams, you're in the exams group. They move you after you have passed and you have invitation to apply in
If I may
Nigeria.
ask, this group, did you source it for yourself or was it recommended to you? Is it it sounds
Well,
very
somehow,
organized and official.
it is very organized. It is, I think that sometimes the last group, which was the post, we call it post PPR group. That's the last stage. Within the
Mm-hmm.
groups, we're about 300 or 400 and something Nigerians
Oh,
in that
wow.
group on WhatsApp. Even though sometimes you want to join and they tell you, oh yeah, the group is full. When there's an opening, that's when they move people. Then they
Mm-hmm.
advertise and then you see. So if you are not, but if you have been moved out of the group, you may not see when the opening occurs. But it's a fantastic environment and a place, for us, because a lot of things that you're not so certain about, you can just throw it there. My kid complained about this today. What do I do? Then you see people come up. Yeah, it happened to me too. That was what happened. Don't worry. Don't take it easy with them. Just go to them. Let them know this. So let me go back to Mark's
So who
case.
curates this group?
Well,
I'm
I
just
just,
curious.
sincerely
Let
speaking,
me
I
note
can't
it for us
even,
to talk about things.
I cannot even talk about, I don't know who put it together, but I know that those groups, they exist and they are very organized. So you have support for exams. The exam support, they put different resources that you need to use to study. And then from passing the exams, they move you to, because once you pass the exams, they move you to another group where you put in your documents. They will support people that have done it. They have admins, who would support. Even other people within the group will
Review.
support you. Okay, this was what I did. Okay, when you have issues while filling, they guide you. Okay, in this case, just prepare this. They may ask you for this later, or you may not need it, but just prepare it and and keep aside. So they are there supporting sincerely, and it really helps. It's still helping till now, even though I hardly have time to, but I just go scroll through, see what is happening. And because right now people are talking about citizenship. Okay, how do I get my citizenship from being a permanent resident? Okay, what are the things I'm supposed to be doing right now? How many months? What am I supposed to be doing to prepare myself? They are there too. And you see pop-up celebrations. Oh, so person just got her citizenship. And then job
Oh,
opportunities, they advertise to there. Are you here? My company is recruiting for this. And another thing that helps out is when you're a people person, don't just, stay isolated, talk to people, be open, and,
mm, mm,
ask questions. You never could tell what the next person has on, on you, on your next move. All right. So that's the
mm.
kind of person I am. Like I said, my life is all about, impacting people. So when I have an opportunity, whether it's just with a smile, hey, hello, how are you? I'm Derin, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I saw you the other day. You never could tell what that conversation would take you to. And
Right.
it's been amazing. Sincerely, I can't even tell how I got into this part. I know my husband got into a group through a friend of his, a younger friend of his, but I don't know how I got into mine, whether it was through that other group that I just saw
Also,
and
it's not
somebody
the
just
same group.
mentioned, no, there's so many groups that
Wow.
Nigerians have put together that,
Wow.
when we landed, somebody from the group actually came to see us in our Airbnb when we landed. And everything we needed to do, he was there to drive us about. So that's how
Oh,
organized that group is. And same thing happens to most of other people. Even some people will cook and drop food at your door, that, oh, we heard you're landing, oh, we are
oh,
around you, we live here, so that you are not alone. We are a community, we are one.
so
And
nice.
a lot of Nigerians, we are actually working hard to ensure that we are well established here in Canada, especially. And the election coming up right now in London, which is unlike it. London is like, London, as in, it used to be, like people that came here about 20 years ago would say that when you walk on the road as a black person, it's like everybody's turning to look at you. Who are you? But right now, you turn everywhere, you're
Everyone.
seeing your black brother there, your black brother there. So there's a Nigerian vying for a position in the, the current elections going on. So we are supporting ourselves. We are looking at avenues to get, established. People are supporting through, oh, my company is recruiting, I can stand in for you, this is the role, can you do this and everything. So a lot of people, I remember when I came, a friend, somebody that I met through a particular group, in London. Somebody gave me someone's contact who had started a London Nigerian group, not the main. There's a main London, Nigerian group, yes, a big one. But this lady just started because she felt, out of place in the main London group and felt that they were not as integrated as they should be, that people need, support at the lower level. You may not know who to talk to. And so she started her own, and someone gave me a contact, and everything we needed, she directed me. See, step, but if you don't mind this, you may just be able to, get this here, this. If you don't do this, who I be to mind now? Just guide me. You are the one, you've been here. I just need directions. And really, those directions help. Sincerely, they really help you. They stabilize you, faster than you trying to group in the dark yourself. Like I said, somebody came to pick us and said, oh, this is the registration place. This is what I did when I did mine. Or I spoke with these people concerning job opportunities, and they were able to guide me. So a lot. And it's really happening. We're all gathering together, like that.
That is so nice.
I know I've said a lot.
Most of the time, yes, most of the time you hear things like Nigerians abroad don't help each other. Everyone just stays on their lane. So it's good. It's refreshing to hear that there's some sort that degree of support for people that you don't even know, because you can't even say this is how you got on the group. So they're not particular about who knows who. They're just out to help and support each other. And the thing you said about helping that Nigerian that is running for public office, trying to support the person.
Yes.
This is such good news to me. Everyone I've talked to has always said, you stay on your lane, you don't make Nigerians are a certain way abroad. Things are changing.
A lot of us are realizing that, it takes a community for one to be established. It takes a community. I'll tell you a little gist about the Asian community here in Canada. You hardly will go to an Asian person and say, oh, I want to do this. Okay, let me give an example. You want to get a house, and you meet an Asian guy that says, oh yeah, I know someone who can help you out. By the time the person refers you to another person, you can be certain 100% sure that is an Asian person. I'm telling you, and that's why you turn anywhere, you see their businesses everywhere. Why? Because they are supporting themselves. The job that they cannot do, they push to their fellow brother. The job that he cannot do, oh yes, I've done this bit of your work, but if you need a lawyer, I have a lawyer friend. If you need, a realtor, I have a realtor, who has done it. They will tell you, and really, they're helping themselves. You see it, as in around us, you see a lot of organizations, Asia, here, this, and it's amazing, and it's that support system they give themselves. And we are realizing late. A lot of us, yes, like you said, the story was before, I'm on my own. Now people are looking for, oh, my Nigerian brother, my Nigerian. In the group we discuss, okay, I want to make my hair. Do we have somebody who does this here? Oh, I do. Okay, give me your contact. And the next day, somebody's asking me, I need to make I have a friend that just did mine and did a fantastic job. I'm giving her work. That just happened. I told you I got my hair done for the first time after 2 years this weekend. And I asked another Nigerian, I asked in a group, and somebody responded, gave me a contact. And while I got the contact, I gave her contact to several, even before I went to her, a lot of other people have gone to her already. So in a week, she's connected and networked with fellow Nigerians who will be making their hair from her. And, and when it's not properly done, we let her know, look, guy, oh, shit, that you didn't do it well. We want you to, improve on this, this, and this, so that you get better, and it's been like that. Oh, I want soup. Who can make soup here? Oh, I can. I do it. Oh, really? I'm coming. And right in the group, you see people post your food. Oh, this is fantastic. So another person knows that you make. I want to get do a small birthday party within the house. I don't want to cook my food. Somebody can do it for you. That's what it takes to get established. We cannot, you cannot be, like in our language in Yoruba, they'll say no. You can't say awade as if we have come when it's just you standing there. No. We have come. They have to see the community supporting you and backing you, and that also gives a leverage, a sort of confidence to the people that we are setting in front, afford to go ahead, and take some positions, and also put a little bit of
Right.
fear in the government that these people are getting more and they are supporting themselves. So when they are
Mm,
making plans,
mm.
they can ask, what does the Nigerian community need?
What do you mean?
Yes.
Mm,
I had a meeting.
mm,
I had a meeting with uh with a political. I want to try and remember his position, which was unusual in Nigerian meeting. Because they wanted to feel our pulses. They wanted to know how we felt. They wanted to know what we wanted, things that were not being done properly. What are those so that it can be included in the policy?
mm, mm.
So if you
It's
are
what
not
you're
together,
organizing.
if
Mm,
somebody is black like you, is from Nigeria, and is seeing himself as a Canadian, good luck. Good luck. Then you just be,
mm,
one of the several that will. Right now, organizations, they're talking about diversity, they're talking about inclusion, they're talking about, integration, of different people, because they have realized that, it is in working together, identifying, knowing that this, you're unique, you're your own, but you have something to bring to the table,
right,
is what, will
right.
give the strength to the, and, you know, uh, will sustain the organization on the long run.
Mm,
So every
mm,
organization is preaching, integration, diversity, inclusion. All
mm,
right, you're this. In
right.
fact, as a black person, if I have anybody talk to me anyhow, I can raise an issue within my organization. The call
Mm,
will be pulled,
mm,
and they will listen to it, and they will take the next. In fact, they let you know. So that is really increasing the confidence of people, and also, giving a sense of belonging. I have my people behind me.
right. Mm,
I'm in a HR group, Nigerian HR group. Right there, if you have any issue, you throw it there. They break, as in those that are in the law section, they'll break it down for you. No, don't take that. Don't say this. This is what you should. No, I'm telling you, we're really improving on that.
wow,
We're really improving. And several people have got jobs through that group. You know, don't
wow.
worry, we have a job here. Can you do this? Send me your resume. I'm going to do. I'll tell you what to do. And they will guide you throughout. Put in your resume,
Wow.
putting it in, the interviews, how you're supposed to do it and all, the questions you may be asked, and they stay there and discuss with you so that when you are asked in the interview, it's like you are just reliving the experience you have had before. So it's amazing how
Mm,
things are changing, sincerely. I
wow,
won't deny
wow.
that we still have
And
one, two, three, four people out
of
there who will see you and just carry their faces,
of
like uh,
course,
I'm
it's
all
not
white, but look, they
unexpected.
are just a little, among
Mm,
several. So
mm,
you don't even
mm.
bother you don't pour
It's
your strength on things like that. You put your strength in the ones that are working, you know.
it's so good to hear, really. It is. Okay, so let's talk about school for the children. How was school selection? What did that take? Did you have specific needs that you had in mind? Were they met? You told us earlier that the first school they went to was quite close to the house. So I'm sure that's
Hmm.
something you looked out for. Maybe you chose a place to live based on where the school was. But
So
now, why did they change school? What's that about?
so here in Canada, your the school that you want your kids to go would determine the house. Or how do I put
Okay.
it? If your house is in A location, you can't
Mm-hmm.
decide to go to B location to school because the
Right.
school, you feel the school's rating is better. I know, no.
Mm.
Your house is zoned, to a particular school.
Mm.
So where you get your house with the school around that place that has been, like I said, it's an organized environment. It's a
Right.
really, really organized environment. So our house location determined the school they went to. And even though we had, sincerely speaking, a lot of people will come to Canada and go, oh yes, they said this and this about this school and everything, but there's hardly any school in Canada that is, the standard is not better than the average good schools in Nigeria.
Average. Mm.
So we
Mm.
don't, when we came, we didn't put unnecessary pressure on ourselves, because we also knew that the school wasn't going to be doing the work for us. We're going to continue to work
Mm-hmm.
with the kids. So we were not putting all
Mm.
the bulk on the school. But we
Right.
also knew that, okay, whatever the school is, of course, we went to check. We saw the fields, we saw the things the kids had access to, we saw their library, we saw their gym. And I'm wondering the school where they were in
Those
Nigeria,
things
you
were
know, have
important
all
to
this,
you.
they know have all these things. So who am I to now say, oh, I don't want to. Although some people say, okay, yes, they want their kids to go to Catholic schools because they
Okay.
felt, oh yes, because I must bring that in too, because they felt, oh, the Catholic schools will teach them. They don't teach them man and man, woman and woman. They still,
Okay.
because they still
Okay.
teach them,
So for
get
the
them to
religious
pray.
angle.
They still get them to pray and blah blah blah. But the truth is, I personally have heard gist of students in Catholic schools that were the ones pushing the agenda.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I've also seen public school students doing all sorts too. But the point is,
Hmm.
like we said, deliberate parenting is
Right.
what is key. You don't
Hmm.
give, you don't, give your role or switch roles with the teacher, thinking your
Hmm.
teacher will help you parent your children. No. So wherever they go, you still have to have it at the back of your mind that you are doing the bulk of the job. You're looking at your kids and checking where they are, what is expected of them by the curriculum, of Canada based on where they are. And where are they? What are the things they need? Okay, what are the things you're going to cut off in order for them to be able to, the ones that need more study time, how do you get that done? How do you make studying
Hmm.
interesting? We work on that every day. And kids are different. There's a step
Mm-hmm.
starter, there's one that needs to be kick-started. And you
Hmm.
can't compare
Hmm.
them. They have their strengths and weaknesses, and you work as a parent. In fact, I tell people that if you're a mother or a parent and you are a deliberate parenting human being,
Hmm.
you are an all-rounder, because you have to be able to, you are forecasting needs, you are looking at gaps, you are actually studying them to see what they are doing, so you know where you are. So tell me, what other, that's an organization, and that's managing an organization, and you're looking at how to bridge the gap. How do I get
Hmm.
them from A
Point
to
A to
B?
point B.
Yes. And what are the
Right.
things I need to fill in between that will be the bridge to from point A to point
Hmm.
B? So it's very deliberate. So for us, we were not so, oh, they have to go to a particular school. No. Yes, whatever school was zoned to the house we had then, we got them in there. And then we had our
Okay.
eyes out there and our ears to the ground. And we're always, like I told you, the first 3 months was bonding time, discussing time, because they
Hmm.
are getting into a new environment.
New
The
system.
school before, they had people like themselves a lot around them. Now they're seeing a lot of people
Hmm.
with different skin color. Even though people, I will tell you, a human being is a human being anywhere, but the change is just the color difference, but
Hmm.
you have to also prepare them and help them to settle in. Well, yes,
Hmm.
there's no difference. And I saw my kid, my second kid, at some point, I would look for a place to hide, because as they're done with school, you expect him to come to you. He's engaging the parents of his classmates and discussing with them, okay, what, and then the most interesting part was, we're not even 1 month. When we get into school, we're talking normally, normal English. I'm a Nigerian. We're talking normally from home. And then once my kids step into the school and they see
Yeah,
their teachers, and
sensitivity.
then you'll be wondering, are these my kids? Like, oh, come on, Miss, why? Like, oh my God. And that code switching, ability to code switch, and I kept saying it and everything, but it's amazing how kids, easily integrate and adapt to a system,
Right.
even faster than, some of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 2 years
Mm-hmm.
old and still struggling with, I was telling someone, a client that called, and I was looking at her, address, and I was calling, and I said,
Uh-oh.
oh my God, I'm going to bite my tongue now. Like, seriously, can you call
What's
out this?
going on?
Okay. Okay. Are you there? Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's back now.
Yes, I can
Sorry.
see you. So basically amazing. It's we were not so fussy about the school. We just the house, the location determined the school. That's the system here. And most importantly, we have to be deliberate about our parenting, you know.
Right, right, right. Nice, nice. We're learning a lot of things. Thank you
I
again.
hope so. I hope so. And I hope I'm not talking too
Yes.
much.
No, no, not at
I
all.
hope I'm
Please
not
feel
talking
free.
too much.
We just we don't want to take too much of your time, but if you will give it to us, we will gladly have it. Okay, so was there any time I probably know the answer to this, but let me just ask anyway. Did you have to were you alone with the children, or was your husband alone with the children for maybe a period of time
Oh,
in
okay. Where we
Canada
relocated? No, we all came together. We came as we both
as a
came as a
family unit?
permanent resident into Canada. So we decided we wanted to do it, and then we gave it a shot as a family, and we're here.
Right. So what do
I
you do for fun?
Oh, basically, I like to walk a lot, so I walk in the woods. And part of the reason we chose London because we call it the forest city. So I'm in the woods
Oh,
most of the time, and just doing. I remember my own thing, looking at the leaves, the trees,
nature generally.
nature generally. Yes, and you see animals cross the road, you see chipmunks, you see you see rabbits. It's so amazing that things that we chased into the far bush, back home, you see them, walk across your house. You see the
Walking
deer,
free.
especially during the winter. Oh my, I love to look at them with their horns and all. uh yeah, so basically I do that, and then of course, I watch movies. Yes, I love to, binge watch
Okay.
sometimes. So when I have the time, I sit down, stretch my legs with a cold or coffee or whatever I have, and I just watch on. Like right now, I'm binge watching some smart woman series on Netflix, Nigerian series
Smart
actually.
money woman.
Woman, you got it, yeah. I'm really loving it because
Okay.
it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Mm.
real, like, yeah,
Okay.
and it's teaching a
So
lot of
so what did
lessons.
the children do? Yes, yes, a lot of lessons. What
Yeah,
do the children do for fun?
they go soccer playing. My second son loves to play
Okay.
soccer, so they go soccer playing. Where get if not for what's it called, um, COVID-19,
COVID.
they would have been enrolled with the. We actually want them to learn to put in more, professionally, to learn professionally, and also grooming them that way. I know we
To learn
registered them.
playing to play
Yes,
soccer
it has.
professionally.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Maybe I
You
like an
know,
academy.
yes, like yeah, basically an academy kind of thing, but they just teach them, groom them to be, and then they grow from there. So they play for their schools. um as they grow, they get to, play for the schools actually. And then if you're in a professional team, of course. I was speaking with my son, one of the part of the, deliberate parenting, like I told you. We're gisting.
Mm.
We have documentaries we watch even right now here. We seem to love to we seem to have a general love for renovations, in the house, home renovations
Okay.
and everything. So we're always on HGTV watching, how people transform homes and all. And then there's a particular
Mm.
documentary on I mean, by realtor, how to a $1 million house, $1 million
Okay.
houses and everything. So a realtor would, bid, get a house, sell, and also we're watching. And I told my son, I said, I think it was my husband that asked him, my second son says, how would you like to become a realtor? Because he likes money. He likes to talk about money. No,
He
I'm
likes
not kidding.
money.
My son will go out and then we'll see something. I say, okay, if I buy this, how much do you think I can sell it for? How
Sell
much
it
do you think I
for
can get from
wow.
it? I remember their summer school, they had this uh program that they had to dismantle an electronic system or something. I don't know what it was. So they would have to, break it apart, bring in the different parts out of it. That's another thing that, back home will feel like, ope budget, but they just teach them different parts, like bring it apart and then,
Right.
and that's it. That's the activity. Just
Find out
break it
how
up.
it works.
Just break it apart. Break it apart. So he broke it apart and he brought out a particular part of it, and he said he showed it to the teacher, and he brought it home. He said, "Mom, this is I got this from what I broke apart yesterday. If I had to sell this because we were supposed to throw everything out anyway, how much do you think I'm going to get? Like $50 from it, or like $30 or something?" He's a good negotiation. I mean, negotiator. He can negotiate his way out of anything. So I said, I was thinking, I said, why did you get this? So I said, I broke, so apart. I said, so why do you think this has value? How come you didn't take any other thing? Why this? He said, because it has an input and an output part. And I think an electrician would do a good job to use it for, so that's the kind of child. As I said, you have to know your children. You need to know them, and because of that, so we are deliberate about some of the programming we watch also, just to like to keep that part for him to be able to see and know. So that one, my husband just asked him, what would you do, what do you feel about being a realtor? You're going to be selling $1 million houses. He just looked at his father and said, realtor, that how much do they have? How much do they make? And my husband was taken aback. I said, how much do they make? See them?
Hi guys. Hi.
Oh, I'm so sorry now.
That's fine. That's
so like fine. I said, so it was. I said, how much do realtors make? Like seriously, Daddy, like how much do they make? My husband was like,
that's the motivation.
They have a percentage out of what they sell, and he was like, no, that. What do you want to compare what they make to what Messi makes? Because he has done his research. I'm not kidding. My son has done his research. He will go online and learn about, how much Ronaldo makes, how much this person makes. And to him, that's money. So every other thing you're talking about it. So he needs to know what they had to put in. So we had to tell him that, they're not just making money. They are working themselves out to make the money. So you need to be able to put in the work to be able to stand out enough to be able to make them. There are so many footballers who are not making money. So Messi is making the money because he has, created a niche for himself, and he's become a star that all the, what's it called? Football teams are looking out for, clubs are looking out for, and everything. So basically, for me, they go soccer play. Like right now, you can hear they want to go out bike riding because their friends are downstairs and it's still sunny outside and they want to quickly go. So no problem.
The bikes.
I'm sorry. So what can we do? What can we do about this? I'm really sorry for the break in transmission. That's how we roll. At least the viewers will see the people that we're talking about real.
It is life. Life happens.
Amazing.
It is life. Okay, so are there any issues you have? Any issues? Anything that you're still trying to figure out about parenting specifically?
Sincerely speaking, parenting is a lifelong, adventure. Like I call it. Right. We can't know it all. I don't even know half as much as I should know, and the kids keep changing. They keep moving from one stage to the other, so you keep learning and relearning and relearning.
You figured out this phase, and then
you think that's it, and then something else happens, and I remember recently we've never discussed at length about this, and somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, mommy, I'm seeing her somewhere. Puberty has come. Hair is coming out of some part of my body." So then it's coming, and I'm like, "Oh my God! I thought I was just cruising along."
I was there already.
You understand what I mean? I see this, I see that. So we can't, finish learning. The seasons keep changing, and we have to keep adapting and adjusting and readjusting to it. So it's there's no end to learning as a parent. Even after they leave your house, my mother still calls me. She's still managing me kind of, because you want to always be there for your kids. I'm telling you. So She calls me and says, "Hey, how are you people doing now that you have moved from Nigeria to this?" She wants to know. She's now parenting a child in Canada. So it's a lifelong adventure. Sincerely, a
Yes.
lifelong adventure.
Mm,
We can't know it all.
mm,
You think, like you said, you think you know it all, and something else happens. And but one thing that, like I said, that I do is I ensure that I'm a people person. I don't keep quiet, and I have mentors. So
Mm.
I have people who have gone through this step, and I don't just choose my mentors. I watch my mentors. Over the years before I say, "Oh, you are my mentor," then I'm ready to just let go and learn from you. So I have people I talk to. I just and then my mom. Yeah, like I said, people just ensure that you have people, the right kind of people around you that
Your
have gone
corner.
through the stages
Mm.
you are going through, that can put you through. Like, and also no experience is same. All right.
Mm.
No experience. You
Mm.
can't say, oh,
Mm.
because, but at least it gives you a form of picture of what to expect. And then you are able to, adapt around your own situation. So it's always very
Find
key. We
how it
keep
applies
learning,
to you.
situations keep changing, the kids keep growing, they move from stage to stage. But we just ensure that you keep learning, and then you give yourself, be their friend. That's the most important thing. The foundation, be their
Mm.
friend, such
Mm.
that they can tell you about their experiences at any level. And then that way you can go to
Mm.
work. You go to work on your knees, you go to
Mm.
work with the people you go to work, on the internet. I search, I
Mm.
research, I ask questions, and some I don't know. I go to my mom-in-law, "Mommy, when your kids were like this, how did you cope? Because this one is like, oh, and I'm not worrying, it gives you
You
a
form
calming effect,
level of
so
comfort. Mm.
yes, a level of comfort, yes.
Mm.
And that's how we've been.
Mm.
So no end to learning, really.
So
That
so
question.
you're doing good. No, no issues. You're doing
Who
good.
says we've had issues? I told you, you mean issues with the kids. Oh, there will always be. Yes.
Yes.
Like I told you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kids are different. I have a self-starter. I have a kick-starting one. You have to, like
Mm.
whine to start. And once you finish
Balance
whining and you
things.
leave, it's in a
It's
state of
wine.
inertia again. As in, I'm just standing and waiting, until you push again. Meanwhile,
Mm.
this you have to
Mm.
pull back
Mm.
a little. Oh, guy, you're running too much. Hold on. So as you are pushing someone to go, you are running. So it's you
So you
know
have to be flexible with
you
yourself.
have to be flexible, you have to be watchful, observant. You can't just
Mm.
and you have to read in between the lines sometimes. You don't just take, "Oh yes, I'm fine." Bring it on. I know you are fine. Let's talk about the fine. What happened?
Mm.
I know.
Mm.
And
Mm.
you have someone you're still molding, like, okay, no, you don't do that. It's not everything you say. You have one who is vocal and just as it is. I don't care. I
Say
don't
it
know.
like you
I
mean it.
don't. And then you have one who will not talk out and say, "Oh," even when he doesn't know, they are going with it. You don't want him to go with the bandwagon. You need him to be on the same page with the people that are being trained. So you have to, "Hello, teacher. I noticed this. I'm sure you did not see it, but I think he still needs help with this. We're working on this, but I want you to also focus on this." So it's not, yeah, a lot of,
Mm.
I've had issues. I've
Mm.
had calls. I had a call from their school when they first started. My kids are coming from Nigeria. We play ball, we push ourselves, we fall down, we get up, and yeah, no touching. All right. Even
Mm.
though football, soccer is a physical game, they still expected not to touch. So you are, booting somebody is wahala. And then
Mm.
when they keep telling you, but they heard somebody who is coming from where he's been formed for 6 years, and you want him to change in one week, it won't happen. you know. And then they kept, and another thing is they keep telling you about it. And at some point, they make it look like the child has an issue. So I had to start working on my child. You don't have an issue. You're just getting to learn their ways. All right. And then we have to abide by the rules. Okay. So that's what you're trying to do. So you have to manage their psyche. My teacher says I'm hyperactive. You are not
Mm.
hyperactive. You're just one intelligent,
Mm.
and very, very active child. You are not hyper. There's nothing like hyperactivity. They
Mm.
start
Mm.
selling little things to you. And if you have an
Mm.
intelligent child,
ADHD and
they
stuff.
start asking questions about, okay, maybe I have this. No, you don't have it. You don't have it. No, you
No
don't.
labeling.
Just you're just perfect. You're a perfect child. They're just learning
Mm.
to understand you. At some point, I had to have, I remember somebody sending me a text that, look, yeah, my son is always is very competitive. And because of that, is a sign of, it could lead to depression. I had to, for an I mean, how old was Mark? 7 year old. I had to research. I put my research down, things expected of his age group
Expected
and things
behavior.
expected to do. I sent it to the lady and I said, look, you're not their med, you're not their doctor. That's the truth. And I think as a teacher, you should be able to understand the kids you're leading. You don't just pack them together. My son is hyper intelligent. I'll make bold to say it out there. So you're keeping him in a class with his mates, give him something to do, and confined in a space. He doesn't like it. He gets it done quickly and then he's looking for more. Meanwhile, you are focused on the other ones that are still trying to learn the ropes. Energy will start to spark. So you need to find him something a little bit more difficult than giving other people. Give him, I said he does a lot of research himself. Give him research to do. Go and research about this plant. You are giving him life. He will write about it. He would, my son loves animals, dogs. He knows all the names of dogs on the road. He stops on the road to talk to people, to engage them, to tell them about their dog. He had registered for a program online with my email because they will not allow a young person register with my email, that send him details about, dogs, training and everything. When I saw, I said, my God, man, what is it? So that's the kind of child you are keeping. You need to engage him. You need to, and then because of COVID, they were not allowed to really go out. So they were just confined. You need to let him out. If you give him soccer, he will play soccer. Like I said, we changed the school, the new school he's in right now. I said, man, mommy, do you know how far the poster had to, it's like, the other school had a smaller post, but this one had the whole field. So they run from one end of the field to the other. By the time he gets over there, he's snoring. So you mentally, get him engaged, you physically get him engaged because he has the energy. So that is so I get such calls. So I'm telling you, there's so many issues that we're still dealing with. I had to deal with that and practically had to start teaching them how to deal with him. I'm not saying he's a perfect child that, okay, yes, there are not things we are still molding, of course, just like every other child, but there's nothing exceptionally different about him or negatively different about him. No.
Right.
So you need to understand your children and you need to be vocal and stand for them. And you need to know. You need to be able to know so that they know that you're in the know. You're not just pushing them to the school to train for we are training. We are together. And then a lot of, the expectation is that most Black kids have just one parent, so you don't have so much time for them. No, we are together. We live together. We are parenting these ones together. And this is us. Okay. They give you that respect when they know that. So you need to, that's why I said the system is still there. There's a little bit of, there's racism here and there, but there are subtle racism. There are subtle ways of, it's okay for a certain colored child to do this, but when it's your own, it's over amplified because they believe that the Black is more powerful than the, so when you just touch like this, you have killed. But when they push you and they hold your neck down, yeah, we've discussed with the parents, but your own is like, So you need to know when not to. Sometimes you want to get angry with the kid. Look in between the lines first. Don't get angry with your kid unnecessarily. I had to learn that, because we are coming from principled home. Why are you not principled? Why are they calling you out? Don't join them to name your child. Understand your children and help them to understand your children and work on the things that they need to get to know. Yeah, don't neglect things you need to work on too, but don't name him. Don't make your children feel like, okay, they say I don't know. Oh, you do. I have an intelligent child, fantastically intelligent. You just need to push yourself more. You need to stay with this. Do this more. If other people are spending 30 minutes, you may need to spend 1 hour. But then when you start to shine, so you need to paint pictures. I remember my second son, they reported him and that he was always overtly competitive. And why is he always he cries when he doesn't, win? It's all there on the internet. It's normal for a child, especially when they are competitive. He likes competition. He likes to be, which is a good thing. But we have to just help him manage that, create a balance, with it. He was crying. And when the teacher was talking, I said, hey, why did you do this? Why were you crying in class? He said, I thought you said I should always be the best. I just want to be the best. And my girl said, oh, yes, I want you to be the best. But sometimes, do you know I fail? I failed before. But I learned from my failure. I learned from people who have gone ahead of me, and it made me a better person. And today I was able to, and then I was able to, overcome the hurdle. So you don't always have to be first, but then strive to be the best. Do your
Do
own
your
best. You're
best.
not competing with anybody, but with yourself. I just want to be the best. And when it doesn't happen, pat yourself on the back, learn the mistakes, learn from people who are doing well, and then move on. That makes you a better person. I had to explain that to him. The teachers may not be able to do that for your kids. So we
Absolutely.
have to be the ones, talking and, making them understand that. And then, also ensuring that they know who they are. All right. They know that they've got your support. They know that they've got your backing. They know that you are their number one fan, no matter where they are, no matter whatever happens. And no matter and whatever happens, you are their number one fan. And you're not going to cast them anywhere. This is us. We work on it. It's not good, we grind it. And when I mean we grind, we are Nigerians, so we grind. Yeah.
So we're
Yes, we
Nigerian.
grind it. And when it is good, we amplify it. Of course, oh, wow, my son is fantastic. Of course, I'll be the first to put it out there. Yes, he's doing this. Oh, fantastic. So that you know that I'm proud of you. So do the work. You have your part. Like my husband would tell them, we all have responsibilities. Do your own bit. We do ours. And then that's what makes the family work. But if your own is missing, it means your bit is out of place.
Wow.
And that's when problems start to happen. So make sure they're always doing your bit. I remember somebody coming to our house recently and then saw us working. I was mopping and my second kid was drying. I was like, the other one was upstairs folding and clearing their room. I was like, hey, you are still living this Nigerian life, eh? On my alone, I'm like, what should happen?
What's the alternative?
Seriously, what should I have done? As in, be doing it and they will sit down and be watching TV at what? Whatever. No, I wasn't trained like that. And the fact that I'm here doesn't change my training and my upbringing also and what I expect. I want a responsible child for Canada. I want Canada to be able to see that, we contributed to their economy by raising them a responsible leader. Not somebody who we don't joke with responsibilities. No. You play your part as a child. Play your part. Do your bits. We do ours, and we let you know what we are doing part time. And don't hide from your kids. Don't make them feel like everything is butter and bread. Rosy. Yes, no. Look we had to do this. Sometimes we put them in the car and then we drive around, while we're doing all the things that this is what we do, this is what we do, this is how we do it in order for us to make this. So you have an understanding of it. It may be a little understanding based on the level where they are, but it grows with time. It's a seed.
Right.
Yes, that you have to work hard for what you're in. Work smart, work hard, so that you can live well. Especially you that likes to live the high life. Yes, I want
the guy that likes
a lot of work. These guys, you see, they exercise every day. They wake up at odd times when you are still snoozing. They are working out. They are on the field running from that length of field to the other, probably 100 times a day, just because they want to be able to shine. You just see their shine, but you don't see the work that they have done, the refining, the fire that has, refined their gold. But you like the ornament, you like it on your chest. Yes, they worked for it. We need to do our bit to work for it too.
Wow, you have closed the service.
Amazing.
I'm so excited for the work that you're doing. I tell parents that are intentional all the time that the work you're doing is valuable, and the fact that you're seeing that far into the future, saying that you're trying to raise a responsible citizen for Canada, it's amazing, and it shows in the choices that you're making, the decisions that you're taking concerning your children, how you're particular about them doing chores. I consider chores the foundation of discipline for any human being, especially children. That's the bedrock of discipline. You're able to motivate yourself to do chores on a consistent basis. And apart from the chores, the discipline angle, the fact that it clears your mind. Because you find out that it's when you're washing the dishes, That's when some kind of thoughts occur to you. And the same thing that happens when you're taking your bath, because you're
Mm,
focused on that one task. So your mind is clear, is clean. So if children
mm.
can learn to do chores and understand responsibility, just as you have put it, I mean, they're on the right track for succeeding. And you and Uncle are you're doing fantastic. Well done,
Oh,
well done. So just to wrap up, is there okay, two things now. What challenges do you see parents around you face? I understand that you have a community, but do you have okay, those two questions are together now. Do you have parents who think like you do around you, who are raising their children in a similar way? And what challenges do you see parents around you struggle with in terms of parenting?
thank you so much. So basically, I see a lot of parents here who, because of the environment, are living out they're living out the lessons that brought us thus far. Like you
Hmm.
said, responsibility, teaching the kids responsibility, telling a child to sweep, to wash dishes, to arrange, things, will not stop them from enjoying the environment they're in. But a lot of us
Hmm.
feel, oh yes, is that not so much? If social security people, if social people, they come to pick you that you are doing this to this child, that I'm what training my child to be able to clean his environment.
They really consider that extreme.
Oh, some people do. I've seen some Nigerians ask me, are you really serious? Like they do dishes, you know? Yes. They take out the bin,
Trash.
trash, yes.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't I do that? But a lot of us are forgetting, that foundation, thinking that we're in a better place, so better experiences, let's keep, that's not what makes the child anyway. What makes the child is the love you dot on them, but really you need to teach them responsibility. That's why you see a child leave home and it goes into the university and you get into his environment and you're like, wow, what is this? I don't know how to do. They cannot even turn their hands on, even if it's as small as noodles. They have to shop
Hmm.
out and they keep calling in for more money, you know. So I see a lot of us, forgetting, you know, that grooming doesn't kill, training doesn't kill. Like an analogy my dad gave me a long while ago that, training is like you have a piece of wood, I have some sandpaper, and you're using the sandpaper on it. Yes, when you're doing it, it may look like, oh yeah, it's hard on the wood, it's hard on the, but by the time you're done fine tuning it and you put it out there, a lot of people will want to use your wood too, or will want to have the
Hmm.
type of the wood. But the kind of work you have put into it, a lot of people are not ready to do that. Then, you know, deliberate parenting is a lot of work, like you said. It is a lot of work, and a lot of people are, well, I was speaking with somebody recently, and the person told me, "Well, all I owe the child is to go to school. Once the child goes to school, he's on his own. Oh, I'll find way. I'll find water will find its level." I'm like,
Hmm.
really?
Hmm.
And this is somebody from home, Nigeria. We're all together here. Like seriously, water will find its level. What if water never finds its level?
Hmm.
Would you be a happy parent then?
Hmm.
So basically, I see a lot of us forgetting our roots. I see a lot of us forgetting,
Value.
um, values. Yes, which is very essential,
Hmm.
and because it's whatever you train them in, whatever you teach them that they become, and whatever you place before them all the time is, what they take in. So we need to place responsibility, make them responsible. And responsibility, waking up to responsibility every day. Okay, I'm the one doing the dishes, I'm the one sweeping. Just having that mentality, or having that perspective, creates a sense of consistency.
Hmm.
Also, you know,
Hmm.
consistency in doing things. That's why you see some kids say, "I'm just tired. I can't hold it any longer." Any little thing, they are broken down
Hmm.
mentally.
Hmm.
Every
Hmm.
little thing they're calling home, they need help, they need therapy. That's because They've not been groomed for the streets. They've not been groomed for
They
their
don't have
future.
mental
So they're
fortitude.
yeah, so they're hits here and there and they can't stand,
Hmm.
but we need to continue to do that, to groom them. These things didn't kill us. A lot of us are here today because of the discipline our parents put into us. We all know what we could have become, you know. I thank my mom every day. I remember growing up. I tell my kids, my a big sister of mine called today, and I had to put it on speaker. I said we're cleaning the house. So I told her, I said, I'm looking. I want you to just mention to the kids when, because Mark was like, Mommy, must we even do all this? Must we always do all this all the time? Am I not tired? I'm really tired. And I said, well, we get tired, but then it makes you feel good after you have worked hard to sit down and relax and play because you have worked really hard. And then your environment is clean. You are happy to bring your friends into your environment. So, oh yes, my home. But imagine a very dirty home. You won't even be proud of it. But your hands will have to be the one to make it happen.
Hmm.
Your hands.
Hmm.
So I told her to tell them, said she told them at their age, I will clean up the house. I will prepare not my food, the food for the whole house, my parents that they will take to work. And then I'm also outside working, before the caterers. My mom has a catering school, um, culinary school, and we've been into catering for years, throughout my childhood. So I'll go out, start fire, firewood, you know,
Hmm.
I had to boil beans before because that's the hardest thing to cook in the morning. So I start to boil before the other people that will support me will come. Once they come, they start to go, and then I keep checking quality control. So I will start off as the hands-on laborer. I'll be quality control to ensure that it is sweet. There's no too much salt. Then I'll now pack it. They'll pack it, and then the person that will take it to the organizations will take it there because we serve organizations. And I was barely 10, 12, 11. I remember I was at a school. No, I was just done with the secondary school, and we were servicing Procter and Gamble. I don't know whether you know Procter and Gamble. They have this big plant in Ibadan.
Really.
Really, yes. So we were running the kitchen. We were serving about 600 people, 300 morning shifts, 300 evening shifts. And then we had a big kitchen. The day the plant manager, because I would talk, the kitchen is like a part of the organization. So my mom was still working, doing her 8 to 5, or 9 to 5 work. So I was the face of Royal Spices, by the way. That's my mom's business. Royal Spices.
Okay.
I was the face of Royal Spices with Procter and Gamble. And I would sit there and we had talks. They will have a round table talk. The kitchen management was my own bit, and other people, the nurse. When people complain about the food, I stand and so the plant manager came to the kitchen one day to eat, and I served him, and he said, Derin, sit down, let's talk. And we're talking, and he was like, yada 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 yada. What are you doing? I told him we're just talking generally, talking about God, talking about my relationship with God, because it happens to be in God too. And he just asked, by the way, he said, how old are you? And I said, I smiled. I said, I'm 16. He was like, what? You mean I've been sitting on the same table discussing all these things with, the round table? Because it was like, he had to wait that day to see my mom, because my mom will always come in the evenings to check what we've done and everything. And he was like, Auntie, I have never heard that a 16-year-old will sit on, manage, that you have done a fantastic job. And then my mom called me aside after he said that and said, can you see? When I was training you, it felt like, oh, you are too hard. You are too hard on me. But people would see. This is what people, and I tell you, those skills are still coming handy for me. The people skills I picked up working with 600 people, mixing with them, ensuring that they are okay, is still with me today. Tell me, as a customer service person, what do? You connect with people. So it makes it easier for you to see what people need and be able to give it to them, to be able to, actually service them and satisfy them. As a human resources person, what do? It's the same thing. As an engineer, you work with people. As a doctor, you will touch people, you will feel people. You want to be that doctor with a human face. So training is essential. It is essential for these kids, for them to stand out. And here, the beautiful thing about Canada is that it's not just your academics. They rate you on leadership. They rate you on collaborations. They rate you on, so it's not just on passing mark. Oh, I'm good in socials, I'm good in my sciences. Yes, good, they are good. Academically, you're good. But then, competencies that required for you to be a good leader is not there.
Yeah.
So we need to do that. I see a struggle with that, wanting to be like the Johnsons.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
the kid can't do anything, no, no. We need to hold the values that we have there, and we need to paste it everywhere for them to see. When you are with your friends, they're seeing the values at play. When you are working, they're seeing the values at play. When you are with them, they're seeing the values at play. When you are scolding them, you are scolding them based on the values that you have told them. That is, they are not just talking generally. So when they are out there, they will not say, teach up your child, train up your child in the way that he should go. And when he goes, he will not depart from it. He
Right.
will not depart from it. But you need to train first.
Mm.
Train
Mm.
first and continue to train. Every opportunity you have is a training opportunity. You're sitting down, you are eating and playing together, train. You are
Mm.
watching a movie together, train. In the morning, you're walking together, look for something to talk about, train. you know Bible, that you read the Bible together. You have a, like, we normally have a direction. We just finished Daniel. We'll pick up another book of the Bible, we'll read, and they discuss what they think, and then application to their lives. It's not just about, oh, go and read Bible. It might just be a verse that will stick with that child for life, but just make sure that you're doing your own and directing the child to it, and they understand what they are reading.
Mm.
It's very essential. Essential.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. You don't know how touched I am that you've been so open with us, and you've shared even beyond the questions. There's no point going to all these questions because you've answered everything, and you've been so transparent and so vulnerable, sharing with us. Thank you so much. Thank you. On behalf of everyone that's going to see this, and they're going to learn several things, because this is not a one or two things situation. They're going to learn several things, and I hope they're going to adopt it because it's working for you, it's making sense for you. And the fact that you're doing it with a future in mind is so instructive. It's so instructive for me, and I'm grateful for your time. Thank you so much, Derin. Thank you to the boys. They showed up, they made an appearance, so we must thank them.
What can we do? What can we do to those boys, right? No, even when you tell them you're in a meeting,
It's the curiosity. We must thank them for making an appearance, and we're grateful to you. Thank you so very, very much. So wish you all the very best. Continue to have an amazing time in Canada with the boys and your husband. Continue to thrive and blossom and flourish, and enjoy God's grace even more in Jesus' name. You've turned me into pastor now. Eh?
What you just did now happens a lot to me when I'm on the phone speaking with the clients. You're like,
wow.
don't worry. If somebody's telling you my life is like this, I don't know whether, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't worry. Look onto the brighter side of life. I know that God has a plan for you. Like, Jesus. Well, I've said it. I'm gone. Like, I don't know if you believe in it.
Even if the person is a believer or whatever, you just say because that's how you
it just escapes from your mouth because you're filled with it. That's you. That's who you are. You can't run away from it. But it's just that, we live in a diverse world right now, but it escapes anyhow. So in Jesus' name, amen. We have prayed.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's been amazing. I had fun. We've talked. I've laughed. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much. Take care and have a great evening and
you as well. You as well.
So that has been our show today, our conversation. Yes, it's a show, right? It's a conversation that we've had with Derin Adeniji, and I hope you have been taking notes. If you haven't been taking notes, that's fine. You can just take it back to the beginning and listen to specific areas that will be useful for you. I'm sure there's a lot that you will pick from this, but it was intense. It was intense for me. The details and the wisdom. Yes, the wisdom with which she's parenting, that she started parenting here and now parents in Canada. It's amazing to see, and I salute her and her husband. So thank you. That's been our conversation today. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to seeing you on the next video at our next conversation with the parents relocating after parents with the parents parenting after relocation. Thank you so much once again. Bye bye.